San Diego Sports Junkies. Wow, San Diego Sports Junkies, a show for fans by the fans. I'm your host, Josh Taylor, along with...
I am Justin Smead, and I'm not going to screw that part up, okay?
And we're going to get rolling into our Charger news. Preseason week 2 rolled around, playing Dallas 28-20. Offense struggled a little bit in the first half.
Well, yeah, it's just like last week. You can't be mad with the win, but we struggled. Phillip Rivers didn't get off to the best start in the world, never got into a rhythm again. You're kind of seeing a team that hasn't had all the players there for training camp. So for me, it's going to take a little while. But, yeah, they struggled, but all in all, they got the W, and that's all that matters.
Right. I mean, for me, I'm kind of the complete opposite. I know it's only week 2, but I'd like to see a little more continuity. I mean, even the first game, they had a hard time getting down the field.
Right.
The second game, they had a hard time getting down the field. I mean, other than the one drive with Gates at the touchdown, they're having a hard time getting to the 50-yard line.
The continuity, I agree with, but there is none because we don't have everybody on the field. We're missing tackles. We're missing receivers. We're missing some guys, a couple guys on the defense side. So the whole unit isn't gelling yet. I think this third game is going to be a good indication of what the Chargers are really going to be like. I think the best part about the preseason and what we've seen so far, other than the offense's struggles, is the defense side of the ball doing well.
Right.
So we can't take that into account and say, hey, that's a lot better than last year was going.
Absolutely.
That can be a highlight of sorts for now.
Absolutely. I think our third down, which we need to vastly improve on. They're saying they were the worst in the NFL last year.
Mm-hmm.
3rd and 1.
Talking about defense?
Right.
Yeah,
3rd and
definitely.
1, Ingram stuffing the run.
Oh, it was awesome.
I think stuff like that has definitely been an improvement early on.
He's made the defense better. You can already tell. Guys are pumped up. Competition's flowing. Guys are just making plays. Melvin just seems to be around the ball every single time. So look out for him. And, like I said, you can take the defensive side out of the preseason right now as a highlight right now. We won't focus too bad on the offense only because they're going to get it together. Phillip Rivers will get it together.
Okay, so with Phillip Rivers throwing 2 interceptions, one of them honestly should have been caught. It was right in the receiver's hands, kind of got knocked up in the air, batted around, they intercepted it.
Right.
Is it concerning? Is it a timing thing? What is it?
It's a timing thing. They don't. Like I said, we don't have our continuity yet. Like you were touching on, continuity is not there for the team yet. It's not gelling yet. Give it a couple weeks. Give it more reps. I need to see more Meacham. I need to see Royal out there. I need to see Roscoe Parrish get involved with Vincent Brown down. I need to see Spurlock. He's been looking great.
Yeah, they're saying that he's going to be the number 1 competition to replace Brown.
Predecessor. Yeah, he's gonna take his spot probably. He's looking really solid.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I just think that the continuity is not there yet, Josh. I think we need to give him a little time. Let's give Phillip a chance, and then we'll judge him a couple weeks.
Yeah, I think this third preseason game, though, is going to be key because they're supposed to play, the entire first half.
Well into the third.
Even, good portion of the third. And I think for me, I think I need to see, I think I need to see the offense, hit our stride.
Right, I think so, too, and I think we need to focus on left tackle immensely. And we need to see how Mike Harris is going to do against Jared Allen.
Right.
I want to see some big boys. I want to see him go up against the best, which he already has.
Right.
Clay Matthews. Well, DeMarcus Ware wasn't really in there, was he?
No, he wasn't.
So I take that back. But nonetheless, Dallas has some pretty good pass rushers. So all in all, he's done okay, but nothing to really impress you yet. So
right.
We'll see.
Ronnie Brown, looking fairly good. I mean, he hasn't had a whole lot of rushing yards, but this last game he had 4 receptions for 37 yards.
See, I like what he's doing out of the backfield.
Out of the backfield, yes. Yeah. Even when we get Ryan Matthews back, I really like to see them put that, package together with Ronnie Brown out of the backfield.
Right.
Similar to what we had with Sproles. They'd throw him out in the flat there, give him the ball and let him do his leg.
Yeah. No, I agree. Ronnie seems better out in the flats, out in space. I don't know how much you're going to pound him inside and to the outside.
Too small.
Yeah, I think he can get you 3 yards here and there, but I think that's a job that Jackie Battle's going to have to step up and take the role of, and McLean when they give him some carries to get that poundage yardage, that hard-nosed yardage. Ronnie Brown's going to kind of take the place of our Ryan Matthews in that passing game.
Right.
So,
and, McLean, he's really been key for me. I mean, the couple games I've watched, he's had some really nice blocks, opened up some holes.
Blowing up first defenders.
And I mean, you guys probably didn't see it on TV, but when they do the introductions, I don't know if they showed that on TV or not, but when they had the introductions for the Dallas game, he came out crawling on the ground, just jacked up. It was gave me goosebumps.
He's an intense
really
player.
exciting.
He's kind of like what Merriman used to be out of the tunnel. What a Jared Johnson's going to bring. Just really intense right from the get-go. So
right. Charlie Whitehurst is back in action. He played a considerable amount of the second game.
He was Saturday night, yeah. He was back in action.
And in his first preseason game back, he was 7 of 12, 122 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Impressive.
Between him and Jarrett Lee, you got to feel good about the backup situation. Not like you want Phillip Rivers to go down, but they've really held their own.
Well, here's a guy that went up to Seattle, got some starting time. Really understood what it is to lead an offense. He never got to do that in San Diego the first round.
Right.
Now what you have with Charlie is you bring him in for that experience. So anytime there's a dilemma with Phillip, something for, knock on wood, something forsaken doesn't happen to him.
Yeah, no kidding.
Charlie comes in there, delivers a good ball. He's on point. He can stand in the pocket. He doesn't hide from pressure. And he's a little mobile. I like his mobility because that's kind of what you saw out of Volek last year, a little mobility for the past few years.
Right.
And he brings a different kind of game to the Chargers offense. But he's a solid number 2. And I'm glad he's here.
Right. Now, with that said, do you see Jarrett Lee? Do we carry 3 quarterbacks? Generally you do.
Generally, the Chargers haven't because Volek's always filled that second void, and we haven't needed. They're going with history. History tells you Phillip Rivers isn't going to get too banged up. Knock on wood.
Right.
I don't want to. Over here. But you don't want anything to happen to him, obviously. But they've always predominantly carried just the 2 to keep an extra roster spot for something else.
Right. Also, kind of a bummer note. We lost Ryan Matthews last week.
This sucks.
And then this week we lose Vincent Brown. He had a phenomenal catch. Basically, he was taking on 3 defenders, pulled the ball down in the end zone. And then you see him reach for his ankle, and he's carted off the field. A huge loss, not only for the offense, but a lot of guys really looked up to him, and I guess the clubhouse after the fact was really quiet.
Yeah, last week's breakout player of the year for me, and this couldn't be this is the most depressing thing out of the camp so far. Ryan Matthews hurts, he does, but you still have guys who can come in and carry the football for a few weeks. He's not out as long as we might have thought or whatnot. But Vincent Brown, 8 weeks max. Man, that's a huge blow to an offense where they're saying, raving about Vincent Brown, like you were saying. Everybody that I've ever seen an interview this year with is saying this guy's been great on timing routes, agility to catch footballs. He makes adjustments.
And he's got the best hands, arguably the best hands in our receivers position.
Ryan Matthews, the football gods are not looking down on the Chargers this preseason at all. And I'm hoping against the Vikings, somebody doesn't go down. I just soon rest everybody. I don't want any more injuries. I won't be able to take it, dude. I'll put my paper bag on and go do the show later. There's too many key players going down so far.
Right. Yeah, it's definitely something that, we don't want to see this early on in the preseason. We've only 2 games into it. We got 2 of arguably our better offensive players going down.
Yeah. And
Ryan Matthews, they said, he says could be back by opening day. I think that's kind of a stretch. I think maybe, the Titans game.
Right.
I don't think he's going to be playing against Oakland. And they're saying with Vincent Brown, it could be out 8 weeks.
Yeah, it's looking like a sharp medical hospital in the Chargers practice facility. People walking around with IV bags like it's normal. That ain't normal. We need to slow it down, limit the plays, and keep everybody healthy going into the season. We can't have any more drastic injuries. This is a big setback for the Chargers.
Right. Bright spot again on the defensive end. Sharice Wright. Really battling for position. A really solid cornerback. Had a huge interception. He really stole the show last week. Had an interception, ran all the way back, just got kind of clipped on the ankle just before going in for a touchdown.
Yep.
And then he had a cornerback blitz where he took out the quarterback, forced a fumble, got another turnover. The guy's really been stepping up.
Right, here's a guy from last year, banged up, like another guy we're talking about with injury issues last year. Didn't get a lot of time to get in there. This year, he's making his presence felt. He's healthy now. North Turner called him the fastest cornerback on our team.
Yeah.
The fastest cornerback on our team, and that's not knocking any of our other guys. They're good coverage guys. They still have speed, but this guy gives you pure speed, and he will battle Marcus Gilchrist for that third spot, I guarantee you.
Not only Marcus Gilchrist, I mean, Kaysen, I mean, I like Kaysen, but sometimes I think he's a step behind. You know, I think
he can be. But his talent makes up for blown coverage. He's got long reach. He's a taller corner. He's physical. Sharice Wright is. I don't know if he's going to be the most physical corner. You have two physical guys with Quentin and with Case on.
So more of a dime or nickel package.
I think he's going to be a nickel, solid 3 corner for us. Not to take anything from Gilchrist. I really like Gilchrist from Clemson. Great kid. And he's got a lot of upside too. That's gonna be a nice battle.
Yeah, Wright's really kind of taking the show right now.
Stepping up, so that's
he's making it tough on Gilchrist right now.
Well, Gilchrist didn't get the. I mean, he got the job last year out of spite because of Sharice Wright being down.
Right.
So take that into account. And if Sharice Wright steals the position, he deserves it.
Right.
So he's been performing well. I mean, if you can add that kind of speed, like an Antonio Cromartie type speed, to your defense, it bodes well for the whole defense.
Absolutely. Especially when you bring them off the corner like they did.
That's what I mean. Those kind of packages, like we see Weddle do sometimes off the ends.
Right.
Now you can mix Wright and Weddle and hide coverages and schemes, and they won't know who's coming. And both off the edge, get to the quarterback. We're going to have a nasty pass rush this year.
Yeah, I mean, we need it, obviously. We need to create turnovers because that's what we lacked last year. And I think Melvin Ingram, another guy, is really going to help out with that. Couple third down plays. There's a 3rd and 1 play where him and Reyes, stuffed the run.
Yep.
And then he had a huge 13-yard sack.
It was
really
on their third-string quarterback, but it doesn't matter. It does not matter. These guys are professionals.
Pros.
Yeah, they're professionals, and they're paid to do a job. And Melvin Ingram's just loving the reps he's getting because he doesn't want to come off the field. He keeps telling John Pagano, don't take me off the field, dude.
I don't want to see him come off the field. I haven't been this excited about a defensive end or linebacker since Merriman.
I don't want to see him come off the field in the regular season. This season, I don't want him getting hurt.
Right.
Like I said, the motto of this show will be knock on wood because we don't need anybody else going down.
No more injuries.
No, Ingram's going to be a huge part, and I just don't wear him down too much. Let him play. Let's watch him do his thing, but no more injuries.
Right. Little bit of news kind of on the, I guess you could say the sad front. Could be a positive thing. But the locals in Oceanside are trying to get a Seau statue, something that they're talking about. They're looking for somebody to step up money-wise.
Right.
And, obviously they're going to have to vote on it. Here's the thing. With Seau, I mean, obviously he's a legend in San Diego, for the Chargers. He did so much in the community, but there's a lot of also bad taste in people's mouths as far as having to take his own life. And, I think that I don't know how easy it's going to be for them to get a statue up in Oceanside just because there's going to be so many people that are like, look, the guy, as great as he was, he took his own life.
There's a lot of different stipulations and different
views.
Feelings on the whole matter because for me, obviously we love Junior Seau in this town. This is a big junior town. He led us to a Super Bowl. You can't help but love him on the field. Now, after retirement, he lost his way a little bit. We don't know what happened to him. Maybe he had a little depression, and maybe things of that nature are going to sway people's judgment towards a statue. I don't know. I think it would be a nice gesture because he's very deserving of it because of the charity work and the organizations he's built here, working with the community, setting up programs, training camps for kids. The guy did it all here. He was Mr. San Diego Charger here.
Right, agreed. And I don't want him to be known for taking his life. I want him to be known for what he did for the community.
Right.
How he presented himself on and off the field. And
he conducted himself very as a modeled citizen.
Class A.
He really did. It's just so long after the game, a lot of people speculated because he did miss the game so much that he didn't really have anything else to do in his spare time. Like he didn't. How could you conjure up the intensity of a football game?
It's got to be difficult. You have all those 70,000 fans cheering your name, screaming your name, and all of a sudden it's done.
Your career's over.
You can hear a pin drop.
Yeah, and for me, I wish he would have got involved with the Chargers organization for like a linebackers coach, or I wish he would have made an effort to maybe contact the Chargers, or
vice versa. The Chargers make an effort to contact him.
Maybe they did. Maybe he did. Maybe the Chargers just said no. I couldn't tell you either way, but if he could have been part of the organization and been a part of a team still, I think that would have helped him a lot in his mindset.
Right. And guys, if you're watching, feel free to call in the show. We have a phone line open. It's 619-387-3452. We'd really love to hear from you.
It's $5 a minute. And after each additional minute, it'll be $1.50. So get out your American Express, and don't feel hesitant to call us. I'm just kidding about all that, though.
Yeah, please give us a call. We'd love to hear from you.
Right.
Always, we say this is a show for fans, by the fans, and we really would love your input. So we move on to our next segment, our Bolts Pick to Click. Justin, who you got this week?
Mine is my boy Super Melvin. We just touched on everything he's been doing. He's been a freak out there. He's been causing havoc for opposing quarterbacks, making run-stuffing plays, intense on defense, getting guys fired up on defense.
Right.
Watching a replay of the last game, he just was intense out there.
He brings that energy.
Yeah, him and Donald Butler seem to have like this cool, I don't know what is about them, but they seem to have a good rapport together because they're young linebackers coming up.
Right.
They just have this high energy about them. But
you know what? They feed off of each other too.
Yeah. And that's definitely my pick to click this week. I can't tell you who the Minnesota Vikings quarterback is. Can you?
No.
I'm drawing a blank, but whoever it is, Make reservations for the hospital because Super Melvin's coming after you, buddy.
You better bring your running shoes because I think you're going to be chased quite a bit.
Yeah, and don't say we didn't warn you because it's right here on the air. And take into account our advice, all right, buddy? So who's your pick to click, bud?
You know what? I'm going to go with Phillip Rivers. I know we kind of touched on it a little bit earlier. Here's the thing. Like I said, it's the third week. Opening day is right around the corner. Yeah. We need to start seeing, him clicking with the receivers.
Yeah. No, the continuity has to be there. The rapport has to be there. These guys just need reps. Phillip will get them the ball. We don't have to be concerned about that. Phillip will get his yardage. 4,000 yards a season. That's a pretty darn good average, folks.
For 4 straight years.
Nobody pushed the panic button on Phillip Rivers. He's thrown some picks. One wasn't his fault. He's thrown 2 that are his fault. He'll get over it. He'll play in the National Football League every Sunday, and he'll stand in the pocket as our San Diego Chargers quarterback and make awesome plays all year long. He makes a couple mistakes. We have to stick behind him. Let's not jump off the train just because he throws a couple picks in the preseason.
No, absolutely not. But like I said, I just want to see him move the ball down the field.
Definitely. We want to see some progression.
We need to see some progression. We need to see that we're moving forward and we're getting close to the offense that I know we can be and that we will be.
Right, because the Chargers offense, the starting guys have been on the witness protection program.
Right.
For the preseason.
Right.
So I'm going to call in and see where they're at.
Right.
Maybe we can find them, locate them. Maybe they'll make their way down to Minneapolis.
Send a limo over there.
Yeah, let's get them down to Minnesota. Yeah, let's get them fired up to play some football.
Right. We're going to move into our next segment, talking Padres. Week in review. They had some tough competition this week. They played Atlanta, who's arguably one of the best teams in the National League.
Hot Atlanta.
Yeah. They're playing the Giants, which lead our division. Even without Melky Cabrera, they're still a very good team.
Who's that?
Yeah, exactly.
Who?
They went 3-5 over that last week plus. We got Yasmani back.
Yasmani, very excited about this. That's my boy. I'm not rocking the mohawk today. That's when my haircut comes in next time. Yasmani's going to bring his presence to the lineup again. Carlos Quentin, Chase Headley, Yonder. That's solid 4 guys that we've been lacking for a long time.
Absolutely.
It's just awesome to see those 4 in the lineup penciled in every day.
Right.
I love seeing when I'm on Twitter and I go through the lineups. I'm stoked when I see when Grandal's name's put in there. I know when a day game comes up, he's not going to be in there because they do the day-night thing.
Right.
But, it just brings a little more energy to the game, and as a fan, we all like to see the kid play. So,
well, not only that, we love to see offense.
Yeah, exactly.
And
when he brings the bat.
Right, and with Baker and with Hundley in there, they just weren't cutting it. They were 0 for the year.
Yeah, Hundley again, bases loaded in Hot Atlanta. And I'm going, come on, bud, let's break out of this slump you're in.
Right.
Good time to come up with a knock. He strike 3 whiffed, and he wasn't even close to where the ball was.
Right.
I don't know if he's just not keeping his head. I don't know. I won't get on that, but he brings a more exciting game than Nick Hundley does. So
Absolutely.
we
He
just
brings
enjoy
some
him back.
excitement, but I think a lot of the players feed off of it too. Because,
the young energy.
Like I said, he had made a comment weeks back with 1090 saying, why aren't we talking playoffs? We're only 13 games out, and I mean, I know, now we're getting close to September. That's kind of a formality, but still, I like to see that fire, that drive to want to compete and win.
It's the confidence that I like. I don't know where he was bred from, but him and Yonder out of the U, Miami, they bleed confidence, man.
Right.
These guys are awesome. We have a lot of good years ahead of us with these players in the lineup. So it just brings an exciting dimension to our team, and just happy to have them back.
Right. Another nice, spotlight here is Chase Headley. I mean, the guy is red hot. He leads all third basemen since the All-Star break with 12 home runs and 38 RBIs.
Yeah,
I was shocked to see that.
Yeah, he was hot last show we did, and he just rolled it on into the next show.
Yeah,
keep it going, bro. Yeah, in
Fuego.
Yeah, you're burning up, man. Chase Headley, I don't know what the second half, and we touched on it a few shows prior. I think it's just the weight of the contract, or not the contract, but the trade rumors being lifted.
All that been subsided.
Yeah, calm down. I can bat now. I'm going to bring my game now. I'm going to focus on this last month and a few days of the season and really, really pad my numbers because that's what I want to do. I want to bring power numbers to the San Diego Padres. So, and that's what he's been doing. And he's already broken all of his career highs.
Right.
So good for him.
Bright future.
I'm happy he's a Padre still, and hopefully we give him that long term.
So Spider Maven.
Who?
Spider Maven.
Really? That's a guy that's been on the witness protection program.
Yes, but he's starting to come out the last 7 days now. He's hitting 333. He's driven in 4 runs the last 7 games.
I've been watching the bat, man. It's looking pretty sweet.
He's doing really well.
When he gets on, he's a stud. He gives you speed.
He's a game changer when he gets on.
Any gap's going to be a double or a triple right off the bat. And then you get a pass ball, you get him in scoring position. He brings a different dimension to our team, but he's got to hit the ball.
Right.
He's been striking out way too much. I'm liking the hot streak he's been on. I'm a big fan of him. I love his athleticism out in the center.
Well, they shortened his step, and I think that's helping.
Well, they did that, too, a month ago, and he started coming out of his funk, and then he went back into the funk. So,
that's true.
So we'll see if he stays consistent with his swing. Let's see how he does the last. If he was Cameron Maben of last year, we would have probably, I'm not joking, 7, 8, 10 wins.
Right.
There were a lot of key spots this year where he was up with runners in scoring position.
They were talking to him about being a 2020 guy.
That's what I mean. He's got all the tools, but you got to stay consistent, brother. I mean, they didn't give you the big money to just go, well, I want you to have the down year next year, and then you can't be up and down every single year. You got to
be consistent.
Hit your stream, man. But if he can do that, good for him. But lately, been tearing it up, and I'm happy to see that.
Right. Pitching's been struggling a little lately, but Volquez,
has not. But Volquez has not.
Right. Yeah. Volquez stepped in last night against the Pirates, who are another really hot team in the National League. Struck out 10 batters and got us a nice, solid 7-1 victory.
Yeah, he beat down 10 Pirates last night, and the Pirates are in the middle of a race, by the way. He made them look silly last night.
He did.
And he had a breaking ball last night that was out of his mind. He was even, showing the guys on the bench, if you were watching it.
Status.
They're like, hey, I throw it like this. It's cool.
Right.
Watch it. It's the 10-6 curveball. Cool.
Right.
You're sitting there going, man, because I've never seen that curveball here, I don't think.
Right.
I've never seen a curveball from him that good.
So he throws that curveball and then he waves to the batter. See ya.
Yeah, see you later, brother. Head back to the bench, grab a towel. It's been good to see. Volquez hasn't got hurt.
Knock on wood once again.
Hasn't got hurt, and that's weird to say for a San Diego Padres pitcher this year. And really just been solid all year. We touched on a few weeks ago, he hasn't got the run support he's deserved. And then there's been some really poor games he's done. So, but as far as lately goes, he's been very solid for us. And a performance like that against a team that's in a race is solid. That's a solid start.
Right. I couldn't agree with you more. And as far as the future holds, September's right around the corner.
Mm-hmm.
September call-ups.
Right.
For you, those that aren't aware, this is the time of year that they could expand the rosters, so they bring up some, guys that are going to be fighting for future positions.
AAA, AA.
Right, and they've earned their way to the big leagues. So now September they get to come up and show us what they got. Who do you looking forward to?
Well, for me, I'm looking forward to the hyped kid, Jed Jerko. I just want to see him play. I keep hearing about all this stuff and how good he is. And
right.
I don't get to watch any Tucson games, so you're not telling me anything very cool. I mean, I haven't seen the kid play, but from all indications, he's going to be a solid third baseman in this league, and he's been even playing a little second base now.
Right, we touched on that a couple weeks ago.
So, very, very excited to see him. I want to see his bat. And if you could convert him to a second base or an outfielder, more power to us, because we'll have another bat in the lineup.
Right.
So,
I can't agree with you more. I mean, the fact that his natural position actually is second base.
Right.
They turned him into a third baseman.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
And so by him going back to second base, I think that's going to make it an easier transition to get him into the lineup.
Right.
At the same time, keep pressure off of Headley because he's been nipping at Headley's heels.
Oh yeah,
trying to get a spot up here. So I think it really bodes well for the Padres in the future to get this kid up here and really see what he can do down the last home stretch with no pressure on him. Yeah,
and definitely you're not going to take Headley out right now, or any time for that matter, because Headley does play a solid third too. It would be good to see him come up last month of the season and see some production out of him and maybe get some quality starts. Maybe I don't want to see him in a pinch hitting role. I want to see him play a full game, maybe at the second base or maybe left field or right field, whatever.
Right.
So let's see.
So next segment, D-Bag of the Week.
This guy's awesome too, and it's for all you Giants fans out there.
Yeah, Melky Cabrera. Gets suspended for 50 games for PEDs, that's performance enhancement drugs. You're a D-bag. I mean, you're in a contract year. You're having a great season. You're an all-star. You win the all-star MVP, and then you get busted for PEDs. And then on top of that, you come out with your own website, and you falsify a cream to try to fight your suspension. You are the epitome of a D-bag, and I love the fact that you're in the National League West because that just fires me up even more.
It's cool when stuff happens to this to rivals players. That to me is the ultimate. And for you, Melky Cabrera, you are a D-bag. You've been spending too much time on GoDaddy.com thinking of domain names for your website to create PEDs for your fictitious cream that you're putting all over your body. What a loser, dude. Your team's in a hunt, in a race, in first place, and you were the all-star MVP. You're having career numbers, contract year, like you said. What a loser this guy is. Yeah. What a moron. You let all of San Francisco down, and they're crying, and I don't give a one rat's crap butt about it. I really don't.
Right.
I almost said a curse word there, but I didn't.
Yeah, I'm actually glad because nothing more than I'd like to see one of our fellow National League West teams fail because of something so stupid.
And you know what the funny thing is? He didn't even play it off.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, yeah, I took him.
But what he said is, yeah, I took him, and then he comes out with some BS that I made my own website, and I tried to falsify the cream.
His buddy probably called him up and said, hey, bro, you should probably make a fictitious website because that would be the best and smartest thing you could do now.
Yeah.
You've already got yourself into enough hot water with the organization, with the league, and now your citizenship's being questioned. Now let's make a fictitious site, and let's see if we can falsify some cream that I didn't use.
Yeah.
When you really did, buddy.
Yeah. D-bag.
D-bag of the week, bro.
Yeah,
good job, Melky Cabrera, the San Francisco Giants. Good job.
Yeah. On to our next segment, Twitter fan questions. Each week, you guys send us your questions. We really appreciate it. Feel free to keep sending those questions, calling during the show. That's what it's all about. First off, we got @Surfer3Jeff. And, it sounds like we're on a broken record here, but is Phillip Rivers struggling, or will he get his timing down with some more reps this week?
And no disregard to your question, Jeff. We just touched on it earlier, and we had to touch on it because that was one of our topics. But, no panic button for me. It's going to take a lot more than 2 preseason games for me to hit the panic button on Phillip Rivers. the guy's an outstanding player. He just needs to make better reads. He knows he's thrown some balls he wants back. Even some deep balls you can question yourself and go, well, maybe he didn't step into it all the way. They showed him last week during the preseason game. I was watching the replay. And he didn't step into the one he underthrew Meacham, I think it was.
Right.
And he was off the back foot,
right.
and he didn't plant, and he didn't. There's just small little tweaks he needs to do.
They were saying that actually the cornerback kind of baited him a little bit. He kind of like slowed down a little bit. So maybe
he hesitated a little.
He slowed down a little bit, and then he stepped it up and picked it. That's what they're saying.
Well, kudos to the corner then. But you know what I mean? Like,
right.
It's just for me, no panic button. Philip will get it together. He's our boy. We'll stand behind him.
The past proves everything. He's been solid year in and year out.
Exactly. If it was Jay Cutler and he's having maybe I hit the panic button because Jay Cutler's, in my opinion, awful. I hate Jay Cutler.
But Rivers is arguably a top 5 quarterback, and he's going to continue to be a top 5 quarterback year in and year out. I don't care what receivers you have out there.
Ron Jaworski of ESPN has him at number 7 this year on his big board. So that's pretty impressive.
And that's after the season he had last year, which everybody keeps knocking.
Right, and that's after 20 picks.
Right.
So imagine if he didn't throw 20 picks last year. He'd probably be a top 5. So.
Next question. It's really not so much a question, but he wanted me to bring it up. It's from @CT2SD. With Ryan Matthews going down, there's been a lot of people all over Twitter saying, Maurice Jones-Drew, sign him. Here's the thing, guys. Ryan Matthews is the Chargers' future. When healthy, I guess is the key. The guy is a stud. I mean, he ran for 1,000 yards this year, and, yes, he's got a broken collarbone right now, but I don't see Ryan Matthews going anywhere. They're not going to take on a contract like
that's exactly
Maurice
what I was going to say. They can't afford him. Unless the Jaguars take some of that contract and eat it themselves.
Right. I mean,
there's no way.
If we can steal him and he can fill a role until Ryan Matthews is back, or they can have that.
Then what do? You tell
can have that
Pro Bowler
and thunder.
You tell him Pro Bowl MJD. You got to sit down now, buddy.
Right.
What?
Because our starter's back.
What?
Yeah.
Dude, he's gonna come in here and go.
Well, that's like the same thing that people are saying right now. Sean Merriman got released from the Bills, and Charger fans are jumping on his bandwagon saying we should sign him.
Yeah, no.
No.
It's dumb. When you hear stuff like this, and I don't think CT2SD is saying that he's thinking of the question.
No, absolutely not. I think he just wants us to bring it up.
He wants us to bring it up because he's heard the rumors himself. So it is a joke. That's probably the dumbest thing I've heard all year, and it's only 2 games in, and that's dumb. And it's not baseball. They don't do many trades in the NFL anyway. They're not going to go, hey, I'll trade you Phillip Rivers for Peyton Manning.
Right.
That's not how it works around here.
Right.
Now baseball's different.
Right.
I can get your best starter. I'll give you 2 prospects and some cash.
Yeah,
cool.
I mean, and not to take anything from MJD, I mean, the guy's a solid running back, and there's a lot of teams out there that would love to have him,
Well,
but I mean,
I'd love to have him right now.
But the Chargers just aren't in that situation.
Right. No, they're not. They don't have the cap room, and it's just ridiculous to even bring up, really.
Right. So our last segment, over under. Ronnie Brown starts 4 games.
For me, no. I think he starts maybe 2, maybe 3. Ryan Matthews is already pushing for the start of the year. Okay, you're not a doctor. We'll see when you can get on the field. But I think the most he misses about 2 games, max 3.
Right.
I think he's going to heal quickly. He's been training pretty hard in the offseason. His body should be in shape. They said he's had his best, Matthews-wise, best camp out of his 3 years here. For me, it's maybe 2 or 3. Max.
I agree. Knock on wood. I'm going to stay under here. I think Ronnie Brown starts against Oakland.
Starts again in Tennessee.
Maybe against Tennessee.
I think he starts Tennessee.
But other than that, I think Matthews is in, and knock on wood, he's the starter throughout the regular season.
I'd like to touch on just for a second is that doesn't disclude Ronnie Brown's contributions to the team after Matthews gets back.
Absolutely not.
I think he'll be a big part of the offense still.
Absolutely.
With a little wildcat we can bring in, and also our dump passes like you were explaining earlier.
Right.
A good out in space kind of guy, and give Matthews a little break, give him a breather.
And they can kind of do that I formation. They can throw Matthews one way, throw Ronnie Brown the other way.
And both are great passing.
What are they going to do if you throw that in there with Gates and a receiver?
That's what I'm saying.
Who are they going to cover?
Very good pass catching backs. We touched on that. these guys can bring an added dimension, the two of them in the lineup, healthy.
Right. Something that we haven't had.
Right, exactly. So, yeah, it's going to be beneficial on all accounts.
Right. Next one, over-under. I know this one's kind of bitter, but over-under, Vincent Brown plays in 5 games this season.
Over 5 games for me, because you figure 8 weeks, that's 2 weeks left in the preseason. Week 6 is week 7 is what you're shooting for with Vincent Brown. Yeah, definitely, because you figure say the latest he gets in week 9. That's 9, that's 7, 8 games.
Yeah, 8 could be a best-case scenario.
Yeah, I definitely think over 5, and I definitely think he brings, on our playoff push, an added dimension to our offense.
Absolutely.
And look and feel what it's going to add.
Right.
When we're heading into the playoffs.
And now we get fresh legs.
Headed into the playoffs, we get some fresh legs. Yeah, because let's see what he brings midway through. And I think he can just really bring a presence to this wide receiving corps down the stretch.
Absolutely. Chase Headley. He's got 12 home runs since the All-Star break. Mm-hmm. He's got 20 home runs for the season.
Right.
But he's in Fuego.
Right.
Over, under 30 home runs.
Way over. He's going to hit 60 bombs this year. He's on fire, dude. He's going to hit 2 bombs a game.
60 bombs.
Yeah, he's nuts, dude. He's going to hit 2 a game. He's going to have 5 RBIs a game.
And then he's sitting next to Melky.
Right, and he's going to go down as the greatest hitter ever and then retire. No, I'm just kidding. The guy's playing out of his mind. I definitely think he gets over 30. You figure he's got 20 already right now. He's sitting at 20, and that's only 10. So, yeah, definitely. I think that the last month of the season, including the 10 games left on this current month, yeah, definitely. I think he can hit about 12 more, 13. I think that's a good pace to set yourself up.
Right, and I mean, I agree with you. I think he's going to be over 30. I think it's barely, but I think he's over 30. And here's the thing, guys. I honestly
don't think over 30. Why not? Come on. I want to hear your opinion, Jason.
He's going to finish with about 26.
Why? What's your reasoning?
He's on fire right now, but he's not in his career. He's not been a home run hitter. He got hot for a while. I'll agree with you on that, but he's only going to hit about 6 or 7 more. That's going to be a huge.
You know why I think he's going to hit more? I think we play more on the road than we do at home the last month. So he's a really good away hitter. I don't know what it is. He tears up other ballparks. He has this inkling towards other ballparks. I think he does it. I think he's going to be in the 10 to 12 range.
You know what's crazy to me though is I honestly never thought that Headley could be a 30 home run guy.
Nobody did.
I really didn't.
And before the season, he told everybody he wanted to be.
And I mean, before the season, if you could say that he would be penciled in for 30 home runs and 100 RBIs, you'd think we'd be in the playoff hunt.
You'd think you'd have Adrian Gonzalez back. It is crazy to me, but it's not so crazy because the last 2 years they were saying that this kid could actually do this kind of production. He just hasn't proved it yet.
Right.
And for him to have this second half of a season, it's pretty solid, man.
Yeah, it's
very
fun to
impressive.
Watch.
So yeah, I'm glad he's
fun to watch in a down year for
I'm
sure.
glad he's hot right now. Yeah.
So last one on our over to under, Melvin Ingram. Okay, this guy's a beast.
Hashtag beast mode.
Yeah. 10 sacks this season.
He's going to have 30 sacks this season.
Here we go again.
No, I'm just kidding. No, for me, it's definitely over 10. I think he's around the 10 area. I think he's that impact player. He's a linebacker that gets to the quarterback. If you watched any of his South Carolina tape, he has a nose to getting to the quarterback. I want to say, I won't say over. I want to say he's right around 8, 9, or 10. He's going to be in that bubble, but I think he's got the motor to go over 10 easy.
Right.
So we'll see.
I think it's under, but barely again. We have a lot of talent on defense coming from both ends.
Right.
I mean, with Applewhite?
Applewhite? No. Not this year. Antoine Applewhite?
Antoine Barnes.
Antoine Barnes.
Yeah.
Thank you. Antoine Barnes.
You messed up your Antoines.
Right.
Come on, man.
Antoine Barnes, and then you got Ingram, you got Sean Phillips, Jarrett Johnson,
Donald Butler.
I mean, I think there's going to be so much. They almost have like 2 starting linebacker corps that are going to be worked in.
Like he's pretty healthy.
And Larry English actually. Hold on.
Larry English.
I got my wood knockers, bro. Larry English actually looks kind of impressive,
right.
and that is weird to me to say. I've never said that in my life.
Right,
ever.
And that's what I'm saying. We got so much talent at the linebacker and defensive end. I think they're going to be working them in and out throughout the year to keep everybody healthy, keep fresh legs. That's why the only reason I don't think he'll have over 10.
Yeah, but for me, I think he's right around 10, and that's all I'll say about that. But I'm interested in seeing how our 2 rookies do midway through the season.
Right.
The NFL season and the schedule is a lot longer than a college schedule.
Right.
I want to see how Melvin responds to wearing down on the road, bye weeks, playing a little more than used to. There's some really intense environments in the NFL. Melvin and Kendall Reyes are going to get a first-hand look at those, and starting this week, actually, in the Metrodome. But I want to see how they produce midway through the season, see what kind of rookies they really are. Are they going to be those high-impact rookies that can catapult us and stay healthy and take us to the next level? Because these are impact rookies.
Right.
There's rookies and there's impact rookies. We've got 2 of them on our team.
Immediate starters.
Exactly. Immediate impact
players.
And that's what I'm really. As far as the question goes, I'm just going off the topic there, but I really just want to see how they perform in the long run. See how they handle the NFL schedule.
It's a great point.
Yeah.
We did get a tweet during the show from Chargers_101, and he wants to know, what do you guys think the Bolts offense will have to do to be successful?
Well, I said it before. It's kind of easy to say. Score points. We got to score points. But to take into account to score points, you need an offensive line, you need running backs, you need receivers. So we're down 1 running back, 1 receiver, and our left tackle is so far. I haven't seen him, and I won't say that on the air because that could be offensive, but he's one of those for now until we see him on the field for me. Mr. Gaither, calling Mr. Gaither. You have $8 million signing bonus.
Yeah.
What's up, buddy?
Work ethic.
All these play into factors, in the factor of scoring points to win ball games. And our offense has always scored a lot of points, as we know. But we need healthy bodies. Jared Gaither was a big part of our last 8 games last year. We made a good run. He stepped in nice and solid. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we just have to get through the injuries first, and that's how our offense will be successful. We got to plug in. This is what they did in the offseason. They went out and got the Roscoe Parishes, who's the other kid? Impressing.
From Denver.
Kick returner. Eddie Royal. And Spurlock, Michael Spurlock. I'm in love with Michael Spurlock. Got a little man crush on him. He's been great. The guy's been awesome. But off the topic again, I'm just saying these guys have to be healthy and step into their roles, which they were brought here for depth. And we'll win ball games by putting up our normal points, as long as Phillip stays upright and he's not on the floor.
So, and I'm not sure about this because I haven't heard any news yet, but will we see Eddie Royal week 3 preseason?
I haven't heard. I know he's been doing side work on the side of training camp and stuff. He's really got to be. He's got to be close.
Yeah,
he's got to be close because he's almost had 4 weeks, I think.
Right.
To sit out and whine and cry. No, I'm just kidding.
Right.
No.
Obviously, they're taking it easy on him.
They want to be.
They want him for the long haul.
Caution. Take a little caution there. But yeah, definitely. There's a lot of guys banged up right now. So let's get the guys healthy, and then we'll see if we can start putting the pieces together like we talked about. That's what's going to make this season successful for the San Diego Chargers.
Right.
So,
guys, I want to thank you guys for all tuning in. I really appreciate all the phone calls. You guys have been fabulous.
Yeah, thanks for the phone calls today. We had 47 phone calls, and that's all we really got to today.
Yeah, and so for those of you who really wanted that Padre hat for the 87th caller, we'll have to save that for next week.
Right, we were trying to give away Tomlinson here. He's on his last leg.
We want to thank you guys for tuning in to the San Diego Sports Junkies. We're show 4 fans.
By the fans.
I'm Josh Taylor along with Justin Smead, and we're checking out.
See you.
Later.